Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back and happy Valentine's Day. I think I'm probably gonna upload this video either on Valentine's Day or nonetheless, happy Valentine's Day to everyone, to all the lovers, even if you are single in a relationship, whatever it is, happy Valentine's Day. So as you guys can tell by the title of this video, this is going to be my Valentine's Day story time. I have been like meaning to do this story time for the longest because I haven't done story time in so long for you guys, and well, it's been a little minute. So yeah, it's been like some weeks or whatever since I've done like a dating story time or whatever, and I know that you guys love those. So I definitely been meaning to come and like, you know, share this. This story time it touches on a lot of different like things, and you know, if I'm laughing or, you know, smiling at certain things, please don't take that as like disrespect. Please don't take that as me taking things lightly, because I'm not, and I didn't. It's just when this happened to me, I really didn't realize what had taken place until after the fact, because I was so young and I really didn't understand what was happening. Please don't take this as like you know, disrespect or anything like that. It's really not. And it's, you know, certain things that take place in this story time are very serious issues that I know a lot of women have dealt with and are dealing with, and it's not like a laughing matter or issue. It's very serious, and a lot of parts in the story time are going to be, you know, funny, because a lot of things that don't have to do with that issue are definitely comical, you know, just the typical woes of dating, especially when you're in your younger 20s. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this story. This story time takes place when I was about 20. I was either 21 and the guy I'm talking about was 20, or I was 22 and he was 21. Either way, he was at least a year younger than me, and yeah, he was just 1 year younger than me. And we definitely, our dynamic and our chemistry was just very like, he's just not someone that I would ever have dated and never will date again. But I think he just had a really good heart, and I'm gonna try my best not to say so much, because I have a hard time, I cringe editing all my out of my videos as much as I can. So please forgive me if I say and like. I know y'all be commenting like, girl, you like that word and that like word. Somebody commented that the other day. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's just when I'm talking to you guys, I feel like you guys are right in my house and we're sitting like having girl chat, so it's really hard for me to be super professional and not to use certain words, because this is what I use on a daily basis. But forgive me. So what was I saying? So yes, he's not like someone I would ever date. Even back then, I don't know, he was just a very nice person. He was very outgoing. He had a certain type of, he could make you laugh. Like, it was just something about like his, you know, personality that attracted me to him. And he was handsome. He was very, very cute. Like, he was really handsome. Like, okay, he was handsome. He was really handsome. So I think those are the two things that possibly like drove us together. But looking back on it, I know that he definitely had, you know, ulterior motives and other intentions as to dating me, but I didn't have that for him. He came from a different type of background. He was very he came from a background of like a family who, like, once you turn 18, it was just like you're on your own, like, you know, you fend for yourself, and that's just like kind of how he had been raised. So a lot of times he was going through a lot of things with his family. He would be like, sometimes they would kick him out, sometimes it would just be a lot of drama, and he would just like call me and I would come over and pick him up. He didn't have a car. He didn't have a car. But again, he was 20, but still he didn't have a car. Okay, I'm saying he didn't have a car. I had a car. Through a little bit in his family. So I noticed that made him a little more aggressive and angry a lot. And then also he was diabetic. So there was a lot of times where we would be together and he just would be super tired. He wouldn't have a lot of energy. He'd be in a mood. And he would always tell me, and I, you know, because of his diabetes, he didn't have like a really healthy diet at all. He did a lot of things that negatively affected his condition. And again, please don't take any disrespect to that, because I don't know much about being a diabetic, and I really didn't know much about his diagnosis. He never cared to tell me, and I didn't want to do too much research on it and ask him a bunch of questions if he didn't feel like answering it, so I just never did. The only thing that I kind of learned was how to give him his insulin, I believe it was, and he would always like leave his insulin and his syringes in my car. Like, it was just really like, it was to the point, y'all, one time my grandma got in a car and she just seen like syringes with no caps, and she was like, is there something you want to tell me? Like, he would just leave it in my car, but we was together every single day. Okay, so yes, he had his medicine in my car and it was just there, but that's the only thing I really learned, was just like, you know, giving him his insulin. But for the most part, he was always like super tired, super sleepy, super groggy. So we kind of went through that as well. But when he wasn't any of those things, he was very nice. He was protective. I remember this one time, it was my best friend's birthday, and we had rented a house in Hollywood, an Airbnb, and we had like a small get together, and she was there with her guy that she was seeing at the time, and her sister was there with her guy. My friend Jasmine was there, and he came, like, I guess as my date, whatever you want to call it. And so towards like the end of the night, it was like these like guys who just kind of like wouldn't leave the party some way, somehow, and he kind of came in as like a security, was like, nah, y'all gotta go. So in that way, he was very like protective. Like, he had a really good relationship with my grandmother and my mom. Like, he had a really good like kind of bond with them. My niece, like, we would go out to dinner a lot and spend time together. We had like a really like nice relationship. Like, and when I say relationship, I don't mean relationship like we were boyfriend and girlfriend, because we were not. Okay, we were not. If you ask him, he may say that we were together, but in my mind, if you don't ask me to be your girlfriend, I'm not your girlfriend. I don't go for the assumptions. I don't do that. So he's never ever like formally asked me, so I would never say he was my boyfriend, but we were definitely doing boyfriend girlfriend things for like a long time. Like, we, you know, and I'm not gonna say a long time, I would say for like maybe, it wasn't a long time, but it wasn't a short time. I ain't gonna give specifics, okay? So yeah, we were doing pretty good. And you know, towards like the middle of our relationship slash situationship, I noticed that he had like a very he had a jealous streak towards him. His jealous streak kind of came from like, he would see certain days where I just would be getting off of work and I'd just be looking like whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? And then some days when we would be going out, like about to go and like spend time together, and I would get all done up, and then he would see me, and I think sometimes for him it would be like what are you doing all this for? I don't know. And I've dated plenty of, like, since then, if I would have known what I knew now, like since then, I thought that was like, long story short, I've dated a lot of guys like that, and it's just really crazy. Like, I don't know why guys, like, they just, it's like this thing. It's just like they don't want you to look too done up. They don't want you to look too attractive. They don't want you to look too much, like, because it's just, for them, it's an intimidation factor. I really feel like a lot of guys are insecure in that fact. They much rather you know, look, you know, not your best. And not to say that you not having on makeup is not looking your best, but I have dated a lot of guys where, you know, they wouldn't like me. Like, you want people to look at you. You want guys to be all in your face. Like, so he kind of had that streak towards him, but I was so young, he was so young again. I just did not see these warning signs. So this one day, y'all, when I tell you, social media in general, not media in general, can be very toxic. So yeah, so basically what happened is, this one day he he had an Instagram, obviously, we followed each other, and he basically would like post certain pictures that were, he was revealing himself. Like he would have like no shirt on, he would have his little print showing, whatever, and I would never say anything. Mind you, if I did anything like that, it would just be like crazy. Like we were at church, it was a Sunday, and I will not forget, and it was me and him, and we took my niece to church with us. So we drove and picked up my niece, and so we went to church together. And so I just seen that he was on his phone a lot during like service, and he never really does that. But I didn't say anything. I'm not your mom. Like if you don't want to, this, whatever. So I just noticed he was really on his phone a lot, and I was just like, okay, whatever. I didn't even say anything. So that night I was just trying to figure out like, well, what are you doing on your phone? So I seen that this girl had commented on his she had commented on his, like, one of his little revealing pictures, and somehow, some way she, I think what she, no, you know what, she had commented on an old picture, but you can see how long ago she commented. So the picture was like maybe like 42 weeks ago old, like 3 hours ago, like is when she commented. And so she had posted something like, I love you babe, or something like that, or best boyfriend ever, or something like that. So I'm like, wait, like what's this about? Like what the heck? So angry, you guys. I was livid. So back then, y'all, I was a different type of girl, okay? I just really was. Again, in hindsight, looking at it, being, you know, much older, I can say he wasn't my boyfriend because he never asked me, but at the time I probably did consider him my boyfriend, and you know, whatever. So I wrote the girl, I messaged her on Instagram, and I said, how is this your boyfriend and he's my boyfriend? Silly tail self. How is this your boyfriend and he my boyfriend with your silly tail self? She wrote me back, and basically she told me, oh my gosh, you guys, I mean, it just, this story time is just the, would not recommend. So she said, like, I think she like cursed me out or something or whatever, and was like, no, that's my boyfriend, what are you talking about, we've been together for X amount of time. So y'all, I literally went through my photo album, and I just started selecting all these pictures of us, and not just pictures that we took on some trying to be cute, but I mean pictures at dinner with my grandparents, pictures of us at church earlier in the day with my niece, like with pictures of us with the pastor, okay? Like, girl, that's not your man. Like, girl, we in a pulpit, you feel me? We're with the deacons, okay? Like, we're posted. Like, girl, that's your man? Like, come again? All these pictures, and I sent it to her. And you know what the girl told me? She said, I don't care. I should have known then, like, look, you can have him. But she's just like, I don't care. Like, she did not care. She's like, whatever. And I was like, okay. So by the time I called him, he was already calling me, and he was livid. He was so upset. He's like, man, you messed up a good thing for me. She was gonna pay for my apartment so I could finally get my own apartment. Y'all, like, just, I've never seen this side of him. I've gone through a lot with his family, so I knew his living situation was all that, but never in a million years did I ever think he would try to finesse or act like he was finessing a girl into an apartment knowing that you had a girlfriend. Like, so he was upset with me. Like, he was so livid. Like, he was mad at me as if I was the one that got caught. And he was like, why would you do this? Like, that is so effed up. Like, you messed up everything. You just messing it up for me. Like, I can't stand you. And I'm like, and this is so different because he's never been like this to me. So it's like, wow, like, so that's your thing. Like, you really be like out here finessing girls. Like, that's, I mean, he's never tried to finesse me. I mean, I guess you could say because I had a car and everywhere we would go would be in my car because he didn't have a car. So I guess, yeah, that way maybe he did finesse, but I never let him like stay with me, like nothing like that. So yeah, he was mad. So we broke up. We were done. We broke up. We were done. So mind you guys, like I said, we will always be in my car. So on top of like his I think it's a syringe, needles, whatever. On top of that, on top of his medicine, he had like hoodies, clothes, you know, stuff that you leave in like your girlfriend car, your boyfriend car. Like, you always with them, so you just have stuff in a car. So it was Valentine's Day, you guys, and I had noticed that like she had uploaded a picture of something and she claimed that he got it for her. And so I seen she uploaded that, and so I was like, wow, like we're really done. Like you spending Valentine's Day with her, not me. Like this is it. So I remember that night, that evening, I was at my best friend's job, just gonna go see her, just talk to her, whatever, get some advice. And she was just like, girl, let it go. So I texted him and I was just like, well, I'm finna come drop off your stuff to get out my car because I don't want your stuff in my car. So he was like, fine, yes, whatever. So I'm on the freeway listening to Keisha Cole. You know the sad songs y'all be listening to. You feel me? When you be sad, like you be going through it, like, you know. So I pull up or whatever, and I get his stuff out of my car, and I pulled up and I didn't get anything out of my car. Just pulled up, and I was just standing against the car. And so he comes outside because I'm at his house. And so he comes outside with a bear. And so he's giving me this bear and I'm looking at it. Y'all, why is it the exact same bear that he got her for Valentine's Day that he got for me? Like, I don't know if they had 2-for-1 discount or if they were on sale, but literally the exact same, like, Valentine's Day gift that she just posted that he got her, he was bringing out to give to me. So it really pissed me off. Like, he was trying to like woo me over, like, oh, it's Valentine's Day. Mind you, it's nighttime. You've been with her all day, so no, let's not even do that. So I got so mad. Like, I was like, oh, okay. So I literally went in my car, y'all, and I got all his stuff, and I like was like throwing it out in the streets, like literally throwing it out in the streets, you guys. Like, I was not playing. Mind y'all, we was in a real questionable neighborhood. He lived, I can't give all that information, but just know it ain't safe, okay? It's you know how you hear about certain territories and hoods in LA? Honey, we was in one of them, okay? Now I'm gonna let your mind wander. So yeah, we was over there. But mind you, it's the middle of the night on Valentine's Day, and I'm like taking out this stuff, throwing it in the middle of the street. And so he literally, you guys, like, I've always been a bigger girl. And I'm 5'7", but he was taller than me. He was maybe like 6'1", 6'2", and he wasn't a big guy at all. He was like athletic build kind of, but he was taller than me. So he literally like grabbed me by my shoulders and like pushed me against my car. And I was so startled. Like, I was so like shaken up. I was like, what the heck? Like, because he's never put his hands on me. He's never done anything quite like even similar or close, y'all. And again, like, I'm telling this story, and this is just for young women, like older women, and I'm not taking this lightly. Again, I didn't realize what was happening or what took place until, like, you know, years later. I get to make it sound as if, you know, it's better, but like, you know, when you hear about domestic violence and things like that, you automatically, well, in my mind, I automatically think of it as like someone like punching you in your face, or, you know, cutting you, or, you know, something very dramatic and drastic. So in my mind, again, it's not until I got older and I realized, like, wow, like, you were low-key very violent. But yeah, so he pushed me against my car, and I was so shaken and so like startled, and I just kept on trying to like get out of his like hold of like that he had on me. So he literally grabbed my shoulders and he pushed me against my window to the point where like my window cracked. Like, he literally pushed me to the point where my window cracked, and I heard it crack. And I don't know if I was more upset about my window cracking because this was my first car, or the fact that like you're my man, my boyfriend, whatever, you're putting your hands on me. And so at that point I was so upset. I started crying, and I still kept throwing his stuff out. He was like, if you keep throwing my stuff out, he was like, I'm gonna get somebody to come here and finish the job, right? And I was like, and I thought in my mind, like, are you serious? Like, what type of, like, it was, he literally said that. Like, he was like basically threatening me, like, girl, like, you know, if you don't stop throwing my stuff out, I'm gonna show you what it is. So I literally got in my car, because baby, I don't play them games. Like, listen, his family, they're very well connected, okay? Like, I'm not, you know, I could be about it to a certain extent, but I'm just not about to be, you know, putting my life at risk for this man who obviously is playing two women. And as a girl, I'm emotionally in my feelings, so of course I'm throwing out the stuff in the car, but I never put my hands on you. I never disrespected you. I never did anything like that to you. So I literally got in the car and I like scurried off. Like, I left. I was so mad. I was like tears coming out my eyes. So I called my dad, and by this time my dad had moved out of LA, and he was living in his hometown back in Michigan. And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning there. So my dad was like, oh my God, like he just couldn't understand, or couldn't. I think my dad was more so upset at the fact that I told him what happened physically, but I was harping more so on the fact that like we were broken up, and like he chose another woman over me. And I think my dad was just like, forget her, like this, he put his hands on you. And I'm just like, yeah, Dad, but I'm okay. But still, it's Valentine's Day and he was with this girl. Like, my dad was like, girl, like that has nothing to do with nothing. Like, regardless, like my dad was like, men do that all the time, and not that it makes it okay, but that's one thing. He was like, I can talk you through a heartbreak, but not no man putting his hands on you. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward to that situation. We have not had a conversation, have never talked since then. That was it. I never went back. I never had a conversation with him. He never reached back out. We just never talked. That was it. We just, nothing. Like, it wasn't like, oh, years later he pops back up. Like, no, it was nothing like that. So yeah, saying that to say, I never looked at it during that time, because in my mind, the way that I see domestic violence, and the way that I see like a man, like, you know, hurting you or whatever, is if like he's like smacking you. Like, I had a specific vision in my mind, and it's not always like that. So again, to my like, you know, younger ladies, and you know, just, it doesn't just have one face. Like, if a man is hurting you or abusing you or putting his hands on you, or you know, anything like that, it is abuse. It is domestic violence. That's just, it is what it is. Like, that's just, it is, you know. But again, I didn't realize that until I got older, and I was like, wow, like, you know, if I would have stayed or went back or pissed him off even more, or another, like, who knows what he would have did to me. You know what I'm saying? And I think so. I see a lot of things where, you know, women may do something to a man and he tries to like restrain them. And you know, if that was the case and I was the one being the aggressor and he was trying to restrain me, then you know, okay, I get that. But I'm literally like dumping your clothes out of my car, and yeah, that may piss you off or whatever, but I'm not hurting you. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that may make you mad, like whatever, you're cheating on me, like what do you expect from a girl, you know? But you know, for him to literally like shake me up like twice, like literally cracked my car window, so that like he literally pushed me against it, like literally back of my head hit the back of the car. Like, it was literally like, you know. So yeah, I never went back. We never had a conversation. I never spoke to him. I don't think I've ever even told like my mother, my grandmother, or anything like that. I think I told them that like we just broke up, that was it. Only my dad knew about it, but my dad would never go back and tell any like my business or whatever. Of course my best friend knew, but a lot of other people didn't know, because it just wasn't, you know, a thing for me to tell. So yes, you guys, that is my horror Valentine's Day story. Oh, it's so cringy to think about, because like my dating life, like leading up to like now, has just been so just like how did I even accept that? Like, how did I even tolerate that? What did I see in you? Like, these are things I literally replay in my head with like each individual guy I've even had a conversation with. Like, what did I see in you? Like, why did I talk to you? So yes, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like I said, this story time, you know, definitely had some comical, you know, funny things in it, but it's not to be taken lightly. It's a very serious issue and a serious matter. And to any of my subscribers or viewers, if you guys are going through anything domestic violence wise, or anything even closely related to that, please let someone know. Please seek help. If you're under the age of 18, please let an adult know. Please let a parent know. It's not okay. None of that is cute. It ain't funny. It's not acceptable. Let somebody know. Tell someone. Let them know I need help. this person is abusing me, I need help. I just want to make that clear. Like I said, a lot of my story times are super funny, and this, like I said, has some funny things in it, but that part of the story definitely was not. I definitely was very young, and I felt like, you know, I just couldn't even see that part of it. But as an older woman, I obviously see now that that wasn't okay. So thank you guys so much for watching. And again, you guys, if you haven't seen my last video about living in LA, budgeting, moving costs, jobs, apartments, please check that out. I definitely have a special announcement in that video, so if you haven't gone to go see it, make sure when you finish watching this video, you click out, go to that video, and go see what the announcement is. But make sure you watch that video, okay, y'all, because it's definitely helpful. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.